to have you join us at our AI webinar rewind. So we will allow everyone to come in. Welcome, Annie. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. Are you excited to recap what we've been spending months talking about?
Absolutely. And we've got some exciting updates today. I'm excited to share them and some new tools we found.
Well, we've got a lot of games. We like to give away gift cards here. It's just something we do. And I will say everything, all the data's changed. So
Yeah, they have. So
just like that.
I'm loving all these backgrounds.
I love all these camera ons.
Yes.
That's what we like to see. Welcome, guys. Everyone's looking fresh on this Thursday. So let's take a temperature of the room before we get started. Hit 1 if you've been actively following along the AI craze. Let's see how many experts we have in the room with us right now. All right.
Nice. We've got one, Devin. Awesome.
Good. So we like to see. Come on, a little bit more. I know. How about
any repeat anyone who's a returning guest for us who is joining us again? You can throw a 1 in the chat.
If you've been with us before, you're an expert. Come on, that's our job. Or maybe everybody's new and this is going to be really beneficial to.
It's exciting too.
Yep. So we are going to give you 30 minutes, high energy, high impact information on AI. So we will get comments like, slow down, you talk too fast. I hear that all the time and I do talk too fast, but it's because we have a lot to say.
Yes. And we always record and we upload them to our YouTube channel. So you can always watch them back at a later time and share them with your colleagues. And we also send around a recap afterwards.
So don't stress. We will make sure that you get all this information. This is a very, very interactive program. So if you have a question, say, hey, Colleen, hey, Annie, explain, use the chat. Let's make sure everyone knows where the chat is. Throw a 5 in the chat just so we know how everybody knows how to use the chat. Throw a 5 in that chat. Awesome. All right, Sean, thank you. All right.
Awesome. Getting to 5s. Great.
All right. I feel like we
love participation.
We do. It's very important. So without further ado, here we are with our AI rewind. Let's get started, guys.
Awesome. So we are going to dive in today into our 101, our 201, and our 301 presentations and do a quick little recap of what we've talked about so far and also some of the new things that we've come across in the past couple of weeks.
So let's meet the team again. For those who've met us before, my name is Colleen. I'm the president here at Lawyer.com. I'm joined by the one, the only Annie. Annie is an AI specialist and also works on the product team. Who you don't see listed right here is our amazing tech team who are so busy working on AI products and ideas and functionalities that they're probably not joining us. We have legal marketing expert Chad on the line. Welcome, Chad. How you doing? Chad has joined the team about probably close to almost a year ago, and Chad brings his level of legal marketing expertise and marries it with our expertise in AI to build a beautiful program. So
it's awesome. It's awesome.
Annie, who else do we have?
We've got our favorite friend, ChatGPT, as always, assisting us with our presentations and the content and helping provide some useful tips for all of you.
Yes. So how does the next generation of AI help you grow your business? The question is anybody right now, please feel free to include this in the chat. Are you using any kind of AI in your practice right now? We would love to hear that.
Could be anything. Doesn't have to be ChatGPT, could be Bard, could be Bing,
could
be Harvey. Maybe you're subscribed to one of those platforms.
We've talked when we'll talk. Okay.
Scala. Awesome. So we've got a couple mixed answers. So we've got a good amount that are getting familiar. Awesome.
So let's just give a little rewind and put a big emphasis on this one. Annie, you want to drive this point home?
So we always here at Lawyer.com want to drive home the fact that AI is not a replacement for you in the legal fields. Lawyers and attorneys are always going to be needed. It is simply a tool that you can use to help make your practice more efficient and help optimize different workflows that you already have.
Exactly. Well said. Thank you. So rewind. If I could like scratch the record, I would. I don't know how to do that, but just imagine I did it.
Sound table.
And you all laugh and said that was fabulous. So let's rewind back to March and talk about 101. That's kind of when we started our program. Now note that the content is all updated now. So we're not giving you March content. So our favorite ChatGPT tips, let's see what they are. I know someone actually already even said this in the chat that they're using Eli 5.
Amazing. Yes. So Eli 5 is one of our personal favorites. It really helps give you an answer that is really concise and it explains it like you're 5. You could give it Eli 1 if you want it really simple, but in essence, it's going to take a long answer and make it be kind of dumbed down just to make it super easy to digest.
Tone is very important, especially in email, because things can be taken the wrong way. I know that the younger generations, God forbid you put a period at the end of anything, they take that as like an attack. So it's really important that we can use AI tools to help us with the tone of our email. So for example, if we're talking to a client, we want to make sure, hey, let's use some empathy. Let's soften this up. That's exactly a great feature.
Yeah. Next thing we have is TLDR. So this is one that it can help summarize large answers of text. So you might get a response back and you think that looks really good, but I only have 5 minutes to read, not 20. I'm going to type in TLDR as a response, and it's going to send me back a response that's much more concise and it's easy to get through, because that's one of the best parts about ChatGPT is it's saving you that research time. And so TLDR helps you get that answer in a super short way.
That's how I like it. Oh, extract keywords.
Yeah, so you can write this after your prompts, and it can help extract some keywords from the response that it gives. And so if you're asking it a certain question, it can help show you exactly where in that prompt that it's going to in the response that you'll find that answer in.
What do you use out of these, Annie? What do you find that you're using the most and why?
To be honest, for me, tone of voice is everything. I think that when you read something that's created by AI, it can start to read like it's made from AI.
Yeah.
If you start looking at it, you start thinking, did someone really write that? It looks a little fluffy. The way in order to shift that is to include the tone. So if you put those, it's kind of like a little lever you can pull. The more you include details about tone and the way that you would like it to sound, the more unique it's going to end up being produced, and it's going to look like it came from you.
And I think we're going to touch on that in a couple slides.
Yeah, really exciting update.
Pretty exciting update on that. So let's see what else we got going.
Yes.
Some new features with ChatGPT.
So these are some new tips that we have that you should write before or after your prompt, depending on the one. So something that, and these are legal specific. So one that we wanted to highlight is a condensed legal summary. And so it can give you a super concise answer and uses legal terminology. So say you want to help do some issue spotting, maybe that's going to help you get that by using those legal terms.
This one's a good, make it easy to understand. I myself, I'm not a lawyer. And when I get legalese, I'm like, huh? And as a client or as a consumer, it's really nice to kind of water down so that I can better understand. And this is a great feature for that.
Absolutely. Especially for those emails. Maybe you're writing something out back as a response to your client and you think this sounds really great, but when you look back at it again, you realize they might not fully understand what I'm saying here. And that's just a nice, simple litmus test to kind of get it on the right line.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, you could explain it in attorney language. So you could help you get it a little more legalese. So this is the opposite of that one. So instead of layman's term, you can explain in attorney language, and it's going to help make it be more professional, sound more like it's coming from an attorney.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's just simple prompting that can really change it.
I'm going to challenge somebody to test that out because I want to see what you guys think of that one. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And the other part is legal coherent minimalism. So that's a mouthful, but it's really going to stay with that legalese language. It's not going to go like an Eli 5 and make it be super dumbed down. It's going to remain like it sounds like it's coming from a lawyer, but it's going to make it shorter. So this is kind of goes hand in hand with the TLDR and the Eli 5. It's keeping things in the legal space, but it's just going to make it be more concise. So we will also put these in a recap doc that we are going to send around to everyone who's in attendance. I recognize these are a little bit longer prompting than the TLDR or Eli 5. And so we will send that around.
No, but that's kind of interesting is when we first started this TLDR, Eli 5, we're like, okay, these are cool prompts, but here we are maybe 2-3 months later. These are very, very specific to the industry prompts that have just been created. That's pretty amazing in such a short period of time.
Absolutely. And it shows also how smart the model can get the more it's trained. So the more people are searching it, the more people are using it, the more websites it's looking at, the smarter it's getting, and the more it's able to understand these types of prompting tips that can help control the output.
I would love to see if anybody uses these and then give us some feedback on it, because I'd like to see the application in real life. All right, rewind. We did 101. Congratulations. You've all passed with flying colors. I know everyone in this room likes to get A's, so y'all got an A. Now let's try to earn an A again in 201. Let's hit it. Oh, this is a fun one.
This is really exciting. So we've talked about ChatGPT plugins. Before we get started into how many, we'll just do a quick recap. So ChatGPT as itself is a smart engine that you can communicate and ask it questions. A plugin is an extra feature that you can select if you are on the paid version of ChatGPT. You can select on a plugin and that will do something extra. So it's still going to do the same function that ChatGPT does, but it adds something more.
A nice enhancement.
Yeah, and we'll show some examples of what that can look like, but essentially just know you're still going to ChatGPT, but it's just allowing you to do something extra. So when we first started talking about plugins when they launched in March, there were 60. And then as things kept going, we ramped up speed. So we were at 272 in June.
July. What about July?
Pretty close. We were up at 422. So
Wow.
that was in July, and that's a lot of ground to cover in a matter of months.
Yeah.
Which leads us to our first poll question,
All
quiz
right,
question of the
guys.
day.
All right. So remember, y'all know where the chat is because we all put 5s in the chat. So the question is, as of today, how many when we made the presentation, how many ChatGPT plugins are there?
And there's a Price is Right rule. So
Yep.
closest without going over.
Okay.
400,
$25
422.
for the winner. There is no wrong answers. Well, there is, but we want you to participate.
Let's see. 728,
1,000.
1,000. Again, some answers. Let's see. Wow, another couple seconds.
Oh,
All right. We are going to call it here. Rick, you are the closest. ChatGPT now has 867 plugins.
wow.
Which is wild. If you've been joining us since March, that's a whole 800 plus more than where we started.
That means, right, there's 800 companies, platforms that have said, hey, listen, we're adopting ChatGPT and we're going to make our product better by putting a plugin in. That's pretty amazing. That's
Yeah.
a lot. Nice job, Rick.
And we've also talked about before, like an example of this could be Kayak or travel or Wikipedia or
Yep.
Expedia. So you want to go on a trip and you could type in, find me a flight, and it connects to a travel platform and it pulls that info in and you find it in ChatGPT.
And if you're going on a trip, you need dinner reservations.
Open Table has another one. But these ones we're going to talk about are legal specific. So if you want those other ones, you'll have to look online.
Yes. And Steve, to answer your question, don't go anywhere because we will talk more about specific practice area AI platforms and plugins that would be good for you.
Awesome. So this one is one that's really cool. So a lot of the times we find when you're going to court or when you want to make some presentations to really drive home some
Yep.
statistics, that having diagrams can be really helpful. And sometimes you don't always have the time to create them.
Yep.
And so that is where these plugins can be really helpful. So these are the actual names. So one is Show Me Diagrams, one is Mixer Box Diagrams, and one is, I believe, Diagram. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but
Hey, you
that's
know
how
what?
we're going to call it.
Better you than me, Annie. So thank you.
So here's a prompt that we put into GPT using those plugins. So we said, show me a pie chart of how many lawyers are in the US per practice
Cool.
area. That's all we said. And GPT used these plugins and automatically created this. So it did the research, one,
Nice.
it created a pie chart, two, and it created the labels, which is really nice and helpful and
It
saved you
is.
the time.
Listen, if all I had to do is write that prompt and I got that looks pretty good for Show Me Diagrams. I like that.
Yeah. And so this one, as you can see for Show Me Diagrams, it gives you a title. It gives you the percentages in the chart. You can edit that one. And so it gives you the key as well.
That's nice.
Mixer Box is very similar. But however, when you ask Mixer Box, it actually identified 10 practice areas instead of 7.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's just like a slight tweak that you might be interested in. And they don't have the percentages in the charts. And the final one for diagram, this one is really interesting. When you hover over it, it's more interactive. So those ones, when you hover it, it'll show you on the side, it'll match up the key. However, the only challenge with diagram is that it doesn't allow you to edit. So if something that you want to edit down the line, those other two would be ones I'd recommend checking out.
That looks great.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I guess guys in the chat, tell us which one do you like and could you see yourself using this? Which of the 1, 2, or 3, what do you guys like the best? Oh, these results are overwhelming. I can't see them.
Awesome. Everyone likes number 1. Yeah. 1 and 2. Seeing some
Nice.
mix.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
I like number 2.
Same. I'm a little, yes. I'm partial to number one personally. I really like that it shows the percentages on the pie chart. I'm a person that's visual. I like to see the
Yeah, me
actual
too.
number associated with it.
No, that's fair.
So
That's fair.
it's all, I think, personal preference. And so it's just something that you can play around with, especially as you're creating material. Perhaps you want to present
Yeah.
to your fellow associates. You want to show others in your firm how you
Yeah.
guys are doing. Maybe it's finances, anything, you know, like
Pitch an
these are different.
idea.
Yeah, these are all ways you can do it.
Now, something important to mention about ChatGPT and plugins is the only way to utilize the plugins is if you do have the Premium Plus, which is $20 a month.
Mhm.
And again, that's a 24/7 legal assistant, doesn't sleep, doesn't eat, doesn't have HR issues, doesn't need healthcare at your disposal. So it is well worth the $20, and it's a monthly fee.
Definitely. And like we said, some of these extra features and some of the newer beta features of ChatGPT, they're only available to the Plus users.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you might, if you hear us talking about features, you might go to ChatGPT, the free version, and say, where are they? I don't see them here.
Right.
They might just be only featured in the Plus version. So just check that out. So we wanted to highlight a new ChatGPT plugin, specifically that can help with case law.
Pretty
It's
cool.
called Mid-Page Case Law. And so we wanted to highlight, as with all things AI, that this is a continually evolving product and evolving plugin. And so it's relevant because just like we always advise with AI, it's
Yep.
like riding a bike. Put your helmet on before you start riding, do your safety checks, make sure that you're taking your due diligence as an attorney to make sure that you're not following information that may not be accurate. So
Right.
the way that we've used this is that this helps you get some insight into a specific case citation. It can give you a summary on it. It can help you understand it further. But perhaps you want to look and just double check. You might just Google it and say, okay, yeah, that does actually match up. I don't need to read the whole doc, but I do recognize it has it. And so again, this is a plugin. This is one that it's just automatically
Nice.
communicating with it.
Yeah.
You could select it on, but ChatGPT is smart enough. Sometimes if you just type in that saying, if you just type in that case citation, it's going to know you need to find out about that case law.
And again, it's quick, it's easy, we're not guaranteeing it's accurate, but it's information that's at your fingertips, and $20 a month.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you can also search for cases. And this is where we really
Yeah.
want to highlight that piece. As with the Avianca lawsuit,
Yeah.
we always like to preface that, especially if you're going to present anything in court, make sure you do your checking.
Yeah.
But here are some more citations. So you can see that it's going to be one of those chats that's continuous. You don't have to start fresh. It's going to
Right.
just be based off of the last question that you asked it, and you can ask it to show more in that same vein. And so as you can see, this is going to give you some of the citations. It's going to tell you where it was filed and the date it was filed, and you can
Nice.
click over to the case. After
Well,
you.
We will say that the link did not work for us, but if it does work and it links directly to the case, that is a massive time saver, no?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, even if it doesn't go right to the case, I
Yeah.
think at the same time, a lot of folks have a Lexis or a Westlaw subscription.
Yeah.
And now this just did a lot of that legal research for you, and you can search that exact case
Yeah.
citation. So it's really just a way to help expedite things and keep it faster rather
Nice
than using the
shortcut.
time.
Yeah. No, and my guess is a week from now, there'll be 3 others just like this, and probably one better than the next, because that's kind of the evolution that we've been seeing.
It's the speed that it goes at.
Yes.
And this is really exciting. So this is something we hinted at earlier, and we
Yeah.
wanted to highlight. It is absolutely worth the money. So something that we talk about regularly is wanting it to sound like it's coming from you. So ChatGPT has introduced a new feature that allows you to give it custom instructions. So what that means is it's going to allow you to give it your personality. So say you want it every time that this creates something, you want it to sound like it's coming from a mid-level attorney
Yep.
who practices in employment law and who has a stern but compassionate tone of voice.
Yep.
And everything it's going to produce after you tell it to do that will always be in that tone of voice.
Well, you could make it your persona, right?
Yeah.
My name is Colleen Joyce. I'm the president here at Lawyer.com. This is what my daily jobs are. These are the kinds of emails that I send. These are the tones in which I kind of express myself. This is absolutely amazing.
And it's for only $20 a month, you're getting access to these features. And it's also allowing you to make sure that the way that the format comes out is what you would like. So
Yeah,
say
that's
you
nice.
like getting things in bulleted lists, say you want it in a paragraph. Say you want it in a table. I love getting things in tables. I could ask it to
Wow.
always give me these results in tables.
That's
If
huge.
possible, display in a table. And it will remember it, and it will stay for every new chat. So just something to think about. You could override it. So if you say, you could turn it off for the chat, or you could say, do not follow custom instructions. Instead, do this. It will follow that. But this is just a cool way for it to create a persona that reflects you, and it really is your assistant.
It was interesting,
And Annie, I know you're in the zone and you're flowing, you and Colleen, but let me just interject one thing real quick. It also allows you to be amazingly consistent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, and your clients, they love consistency. They want it to always feel the same when they're working with you and when they're communicating with you. And so what you're talking about in doing this work creates that consistent experience. And I promise you, your clients will love you for it.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Chad. It's true, because I think that that's something that you want to be consistent in your approach. You want to have a brand for your firm, that this is the way that this firm handles cases. So when word of mouth, when someone recommends you to another client, you're still the same person, and the responses that are coming through still reflect that. And it's just a really neat tip and tool to have, that you don't have to have an associate sitting there writing every single memo for you. This can help you.
It's funny, Annie and I sat in on a Copilot demo last week. I think Copilot is Microsoft's AI solution for Outlook, for everything, for Word. So we saw the Outlook portion, and they're using something similar where you write your persona, you write how you're stern, you write you're friendly, and then you're able to respond to emails based on tone and length. So you can say, hey, I want to send a stern, short response to this email, and it'll kick back a one sentence or maybe a couple bullets just like that, based on kind of what we're talking about here, which is interesting. But here, look, Joy say that's kind of interesting. I didn't know it was free.
No, for a fee.
Oh, I need glasses, y'all.
We have bright lights in here, but it is. So we will touch on that as well. So right now, the fee for how much it is, I'm not exactly certain, but I'm fairly confident that it is more than $20 a month. So it's something that if you're willing to play around and you want to try out a different platform, that's always an option. But we have highlighted Lexis previously, and that is in one of our video recaps on YouTube, which actually we're going to go into right now. But for the Lexis AI add-on, that is something that is really robust and allows you to keep working within Lexis. So if you're someone who really loves LexisNexis, and that is really where you do all of your research, that can be really helpful, because it can help with sending out emails. So as we're getting to on this slide, so
all right, so I need glasses. Because I see this from here. I'm like, wait, it's free. When did that happen?
So unfortunately not. That would be really great and generous of them if it was. But
Very generous.
I think they see they have a good business corner on the market, that everyone needs it. And so that's where Lexis is going to let you get interactive. So if you rewatch our videos, we show you in that you can ask it questions, and you can ask it follow-up questions. And that was one of the biggest things that Lexis has highlighted in all of their demos, is that some of the biggest feedback is that folks don't like to have to start a new search every time they want to ask a question. Who would want to? That's kind of redundant and not unnecessary. So having the ability to keep asking off of other questions is really great, but it also allows you to draft emails in there too, based off of the case law that you're seeing.
But holla, if anyone has, I know we went a little bit in depth in it. And again, all of these are online, and we will send them to you in video form, but holla provides AI financial help. So if you are trying to work on projections, billables, trying to understand what's happening in your firm, in the finance department, this is a great tool that you could be using. They are a New York-based company, and they just raised a lot of money. So
and they
good luck to them.
And they offer a ability to do projections for month over month, and also help you see if you're on track to hit your goals that you hit last month. So which is really helpful.
No, it is nice. Case Techs are friends from up north.
Yes, they were recently acquired by Thomson Reuters, and they are the big dogs right now. So Case Techs is very similar to Lexis, but it's got its own flavor. Case Techs allows you to upload your documents. So we get a lot of questions of, I have a 15-page summary. How can this GPT communicate with it? Case Techs is who you want to check out. You can upload any number of documents you want, and it's only going to search those documents. It's not going to search the web unless if you ask it to search the web. So that's really helpful, especially if you've done a lot of discovery. Maybe you've done a lot of discovery on emails or text messages. You could upload the whole batches of those and interact and ask it questions, and it'll search through all of those without you manually doing it, which can be really time consuming otherwise.
That's worth it right there. Do not pay. Do not pay is a consumer service. So many times consumers don't have the funds to pay for legal help. We encounter it all the time in the industry. So do not pay offers information. So if people want to fight for their own speeding ticket or want to battle their landlord, they give them the tools, research, and knowledge to do some of that stuff. It also has a lot of great content. So if you're looking for a content play, I would definitely check out Do Not Pay.
Yeah, great ideas of what to add to your own website. So
Yep.
if you do housing, if you help folks with the housing, it can help you with finding out what people are looking for. So how
Yep.
do I break a lease? How do I do this, that, and the other thing? It can offer a lot of great stuff.
And it really is beautiful looking site. And they did try to say, hey, listen, we will pay a lawyer to go to court with an earbud in, and we will use OpenAI to give all of the answers, but that did not fly and that got shut down. But A for effort, because I
Yeah.
thought that was cool.
And
Oh,
the
you like
final
that.
one is Alexi. I personally really love Alexi. And we should preface this at the start. We are not affiliated with any of the companies mentioned. These are just ones that we've come across and we really enjoy, and we think that they would be helpful for all of you to check out. Alexi they have picked their lane and they stay in it. They are the specialist in memo writing. So the way that Alexi works is you can put in the jurisdiction, you can put in the case type, the question, the overall question that you're trying to get at in this memo, provide a little bit of key context details, and then hit submit, and it will draft you up a memo. The memo is extremely robust. It's about at least 10 to 15 pages long. It's got citations, it's got case law, it's got everything in it, but it does come for a fee. So that is priced higher. I believe it's either $199 or $299. I'm blanking right now, but they do packages. So you can buy a package, you could buy a membership where you're buying them in a bundle. And so that's just something to consider. If you really want help specifically with memo writing, you could do that. And they offer a 2 free memo trial. So I always recommend try a topic that you've written a memo on that you really love, and then see what that does and see the comparison and if it's on par or if it's not. And then just be cool, interesting test.
Oh, Annie's favorite topic. Sorry, real quick here in the chat, confidentiality.
Yes. So case text, I believe, is storing. So all of these accounts are all personal private accounts that are protected with data privacy.
Yeah.
So that is something that these, all of these platforms, especially the big names, so especially Lexis, especially case text being bought by Thomson Reuters, they understand that very big piece when it comes to confidentiality and ensuring that everything is protected and encrypted. And so that is something that they do make a promise that it is protected information within for your firm.
Whereas maybe ChatGPT.
Yeah, I would not upload any type of discovery to ChatGPT. That is like putting it into Google.
Yeah.
This would be more of having a private login that you are having your own personal account. So I log in and says, hi, Annie at Lawyer.com, and it would tell you all of the stuff that I have in there.
Which is why you pay for that. And you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It does come with a fee for that peace of mind, but that is the piece to consider is that it does help expedite those tasks. So is that expediting of tasks worth the fee?
Right. Absolutely. So again, these are just a small sample size of what could be used in your firm. So who wants to learn about your specific practice areas? I know we had talked about this earlier. I think it was Scott who somebody had asked. So we are going to be holding a 2-day business builder boot camp in Las Vegas, September 7th and 8th at the Four Seasons, which is a beautiful resort. Everything is included, your food, your learning, your education. All you have to do is buy your hotel at a discounted rate, your flight, and we will teach and educate you on how AI will grow and help build a better business for you. Here's a quick agenda of what we're going to be hosting. Chad will be there as well. So Chad, maybe you want to talk a little bit about how what we're doing here is going to be brought to real life in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so what we do in Las Vegas is we really take from black and white to color what we've been talking about here. We've been talking a lot of the black and white issues with AI, what they can use. In Vegas, we're going to really jump into the firm and show practical application. And so you'll leave going, okay, I will immediately be able to apply this, and this so that I can grow and scale my firm. And the reality is the people that should come are the people that are saying, okay, I'm determined to take my firm to the next level, that I want to grow. If you're totally good where you're at now, it's probably not the event for you to attend. If you're just comfortable, you're like, no, Chad, I'm totally good. But if you're saying, no, 6 months from now, I want to be in a different place, a year from now, I want to continue to grow, then this is the event where we'll really dive into that and really help you bolt on those tools to get you there in a much faster, much more efficient way.
Absolutely. And giving you tangible steps too. I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing, Chad. Like you said, that giving you steps to work on, and especially in the AI space, of what to check out for your practice
Yeah.
area to help you. And also to have that collaboration and the networking with other attorneys across the US, across different practice areas, across the same practice area, and start to learn from others of how they're approaching these challenges.
Right, we're 30 minutes here, and we, as you know, talk fast and can't get it all out at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to really deep dive into it. So with that said, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. We do have discounted room rates at the Four Seasons. I think it's $299 a night, which is amazing. We will throw the link up in the chat if anybody's interested in learning more. Our room rate ends on Monday, so we do encourage people who are interested to contact us now. Happy to give you more information. And with that said,
And well, let me just also say this real quick. This will sell out. This event's going to sell out. We're already very close to capacity. And so if we keep it to a smaller classroom type setting.
Yep.
So we do, it is going to sell out. So it's a great opportunity for you to dive in and really take your firm.
To have that intimate experience really allows you to digest a lot more than just being spoken at in a big room. So we do love that.
And asking questions, and also seeing where everyone else in the field is at too. I think that's always really helpful.
No, the networking aspect, right? Because maybe you can partner with somebody and say, hey, let's try this, let's do this, just the shared resources. And yes, Elvis is so busy right now, but
We'll
Elvis,
tell him that you were looking for him.
but Elvis will be in Las Vegas. Don't you worry about that. But let's any other questions? It could be about Elvis, or it could be about AI, whatever you guys want. We got a couple minutes for questions. I do like Elvis questions though.
Always. What's your favorite Elvis song?
Suspicious Minds,
Oh,
by far.
I like Rubbernecking.
Ooh,
It's a fun
go
one.
deep on that one. I like it,
it's
Annie.
a fun one, different one.
All right, questions about our presentation, about AI, about our upcoming event? Anybody? We've got a quiet room. Tough crowd, guys.
Oh, does
Okay.
ChatGPT ultimately plan to open a law practice and put some of us lawyers out of business? I bet that they wish they could, but I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing with ChatGPT is that they are a tech company first and foremost.
Yeah.
Big, if you look in the news for ChatGPT, their focus is on getting those chips, those microchips to run computers. That's what they're focused on right now. They don't have enough of them to keep this thing powered as efficiently as they want. So while that is an interesting idea in theory, and maybe one day in the distant future we could get there, right now I do not believe that's their focus. From everything that I have heard, their focus is really trying to make it be as robust as possible and trying to help ensure that we are able to use this machine as fast as possible.
And then in terms of us, again, we like to see ourselves, we are a tech first company, and we've got to take the technologies that out there and provide lawyers, provide consumers with better, faster, smarter. And that's really what we're after. It's important.
Well, we love attorneys. We're not trying to put you out of business.
No,
Hence
again,
Lawyer.com.
right.
We are, y'all are our bread and butter, and we are not trying to put you out of business.
It's a tool.
For us, we really want to help assist you to use the technology in the best ways possible, and just to be aware of what's coming up. Being an attorney, you have so many things you're keeping track of in terms of cases and trying to keep up with the trends and the local laws and everything else that's evolving. And so this is just our way of helping you keep up with AI as well.
All right, so I'm putting Annie on the spot because again, she is our AI expert. So this is for Kristen out there. Annie, can you TLDR, because we all know what that is. Can you TLDR ChatGPT?
Yeah, it's ChatGPT 4. Yeah. So the biggest difference for ChatGPT, the regular one versus 4, is pretty much in speed and how much updated it is. So if you have the free version of ChatGPT, you go to chat.openai.com. It's free to sign up for an account. We have that actually in a walkthrough. We have a demo of how to do that. And
Yeah.
we'll send that around too. But it's easy to sign up. It's free. It's something I definitely encourage you to do just to play around with what it can do.
Yeah.
If you like what you see, that's where we recommend ChatGPT 4 Plus comes in. That is available $20 a month. It helps you have more searches than the other one. So the GPT free version, you might sometimes run into a problem when you go in and it says that it's timed out or we're at max capacity right now. We can't take on any more users.
Yeah.
That goes to those little microchips I was just talking about. They don't have enough to keep it going.
No.
But if you have GPT-4, you kind of have that peace of mind that you got the fast pass, you're paying customers, so they're going to let you get the service that you paid for. And so that's one thing that we definitely recommend having there for that reason. But additionally, you get to have those plugins. So it makes it be a smarter product.
Yeah.
Right now it's smart, but the smarter is having plus. So that's GPT-4. And it's going to keep evolving and it's going to keep updating, but it'll tell you more information.
Awesome.
Let's see. Are you aware of a trustworthy AI program that has the ability to extract multiple data points from a PDF document and merge them into an Excel? We do have there is one called a PDF exporter. That is the name of a plugin that's there. That's within ChatGPT. It can create a plugin. It can create a PDF for you. And
Trustworthy?
yeah, I think that's one piece about it, is that you want to make sure whenever you're doing it, play around with, I always recommend playing around with some dummy data.
Yeah.
Put in anything you put in, always redact it. Don't put anything that's personally identifiable information into it. And then you can just kind of see from there.
Okay, so the plugins. So as of now, the plugins are all included in the $20 a month. So I haven't heard of them trying to charge
No.
a plugin, but we can't rule anything out. But there is no extra cost. If you have ChatGPT 4, which is $20 a month, you get access to all 867 plugins.
And you can use up to 3 at once. So to go on that PDF question, we've done a demo once where you can ask it a question. It can create it into a PDF. It can also create that visual of the pie chart like we saw it, and it can help format it for an email. So it can do 3 things at once with having those plugins. So it helps kind of make it be a little bit smarter. So to Colleen's point, $20 a month, no HR costs, a lot faster than an associate typically would work.
Yeah.
But it's right now, those are all free. And from what it seems, it's a way for a lot of companies that are trying to get into the AI space to get their names known. So for them, it's a benefit to have people seeing it and getting used to their platform. So they don't necessarily even want to charge because they want people to start using it and getting to know it.
Right. Well, listen, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Please look at your calendars. Join us in Las Vegas. Not only will it be super educational, but I will personally make sure that it is fun and informative. Thank you guys so much for all your kind words. We really appreciate it. And go out there and use ChatGPT, use all these AI platforms and report back to us.
Absolutely. We love getting the feedback on how it's going and how it's being used by you. So definitely let us know. And thank you all for joining us. This was a great session.
All right. Happy early weekend to everybody and hope to see y'all in Las Vegas.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.